Anti-inflammatory diet.
That's kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah, but the big question is the elimination diets. These are the the Vashon diet and whatever, where people eliminate virtually everything, and so those, because people ask me about that all the time, nightshades and whatever, So we've had we have an in-house naturopath who works with us at Virginia Race. His name is Kevin Conner. And we've sat down with him and had this conversation. And because that's a very faddish thing, all the Hollywood people, they're either gluten intolerant or gluten sensitive or whatever. There's a lot of hocus pocus to that sort of stuff. These elimination diet works about as well as placebo. Okay. Having said that, there are diseases like gluten intolerance, which actually overlap with diseases like lupus. Okay, so if you have lupus, you're more likely to be gluten intolerant, which is another autoimmune disease. So what I tell my people to do, at Kevin's advice, is eliminate gluten from your diet. Give it a couple of weeks, and see if you feel better. Then have a pizza. And if your disease flares, then you have gluten intolerance. Okay? For other people, it may be corn products. For other people, it may be soy products. For other people, it may be dairy products. Okay? And so to do that in a serial fashion. And obviously doing a lot of the stuff that I talked about before. No, brown rice rather than white rice. No sugar, minimal alcohol. But eliminating things like nightshades and whatever it's folklore.
You mean I should use tomatoes? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, there's no harm. I mean, there's no data suggesting that it does anything. Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant.
I was just going to ask for clarification on the turmeric versus echinacea. I understand that echinacea is an immune system booster, so to avoid that. Turmeric, you read, is at least an anti-inflammatory, so that would seemingly be a good thing, but you said avoid. Is that?
I would still not take it as a supplement. You can absolutely include it as a part of your diet, flavoring your food, making curries or something like that, but I would not take a supplement, especially if it has not been verified, because you don't know that that's the only thing in that supplement. A lot of supplements are contaminated with other ingredients that you may not know are there.
I totally understand the quality of that, but what if it's, everyone's doing the golden milk tea? I mean, it's the same spice you'd use in your food, but
right,
big
but
doses, not a big plan?
Huge doses and with no scientific evidence proving it.
I hate to differ with you. Because again, in conversation with Kevin and whatever, it does have a somewhat anti-inflammatory effect, and I certainly have people try it. Even the Arthritis Foundation has said that you can use turmeric for RA or that kind of stuff. The only thing that I know of that stimulates the immune system is the alfalfa sprouts. There's data back in the 70s when everybody had alfalfa sprouts on their salads and they would make everybody sick, or a lupus patient. So, maybe turmeric's a little bit controversial, whatever, but I don't have a problem with it. Actually, omega-3 supplements I agree with turmeric, or swell up, which is another plant. It's another plant thing. They have a modest anti-inflammatory effect. They're not very strong, but they do have something.
And just in terms of, I know you referenced the kind of faddish elimination thing. As part of just kind of a general approach to good health, is there a negative impact to, say, mostly plant-based diet, or there's nothing that stress isn't gonna cause a negative impact to your immune system?
The stress of a plant-based diet?
Well, no, just the stress of doing some wacky elimination plan, or
no, I mean, as long as
there's
you're
no
meeting your energy
contraindication of it.
needs.
It's just
We wouldn't want you going on a very low-calorie kind of diet, but as long as you're meeting your energy needs and your vitamin and mineral needs, there wouldn't be.
I agree with that, and it's a great way to lose weight. But again, it's a really hard diet. It's impractical, and I really try to be a practical person. Okay, and if you look at that anti-inflammatory diet, it's almost impossible to continue on for a prolonged period of time, because it's just really hard to do. And so I think you can try it, but and certainly a plant-based diet is a healthy diet, I mean, vegans, I have a niece who's a vegan and she does fine, not my style, but certainly that kind of stuff is fine, and yeah, it's very healthy.
We have time for probably 2 more questions. There's one all the way in the back.
I have a concern for Megan. You mentioned adding legumes to your diet for protein, and in Dr. Wallace's book, he mentions that legumes can contribute to flares.
That was, you're referencing the book that I had recommended?
Yes.
Right. So in that book, he talks about how the sprouts and the seeds can cause flares, but there's not enough in the legumes themselves to cause the flares.
Okay. Last question.
Is there any correlation to regions of the world or the U.S. where lupus is more prevalent or other autoimmune diseases?
So the question is having to do with prevalence. So we see probably less lupus and probably less aggressive lupus than other parts of the country for 2 reasons. One is because of our ethnic breakdown. Plus, Seattle's a pretty white place these days. If I was in inner city Baltimore, where Michelle Petrie practices, it's a different situation because that's largely African American. And we talked about the fact that it's like 1 in 500 African American women have lupus, 1 in 1,000 Caucasian women, and it's something like 1 in 750 Hispanic and Asian women. So some of it has to do with that. Some of it also has to do with sun. Lupus is a disease that flares with sun exposure, and you see something. It's pretty gray around here. And then you have our people will go to Hawaii or California or whatever on vacation, and then they come back and they've had an outbreak of lupus. So one of the things that we know about why lupus is obviously a sun-sensitive disease, and one of the things that I always quiz my residents about is why does the sun cause lupus to flare? And they stare at me. Okay. But what happens when you get a bad sunburn? Right? Your skin dies, you peel. And then you get the stuff that they were talking about. You get the cell death and it turns on the immune system and whatever. So that's why it's really important to use lots of sunscreens. And the UVA protection is really important, not the UVB protection. But when you wear your sunscreen, you want to use UVA, UVB protection because that's really going to help you from having a breakdown. So there, for a lot of reasons, we see that. But lupus is universal, and the only thing that I know about autoimmune diseases, we have, conversely, I think, if that's still true, in the Pacific Northwest, we have the highest incidence of multiple sclerosis in the country. And nobody knows why, but that may have to do with vitamin D. Also a plug for vitamin D. There's some data suggesting that low vitamin D levels has a negative effect upon your immune system in patients with lupus. So, plug for taking vitamin D supplements. That's the only supplement I tell people to take.
All right.
I can just make one comment about the higher prevalence of MS. It's in the Northwest, but it's also the same latitude, like across Europe, that you see this higher incidence of MS.
All right. Thank you. All right, so before we have our quick break session, I want to let you know that we're going to have 2 breakout sessions. The room immediately to the left when you exit here will be the one for lupus caregivers, and that will be facilitated by Katie. And then the room to the right will be for lupus patients, and that will be facilitated by Dr. Carlin. So we have a 15-minute break, but before I set you free, we have a quick parking announcement.
So one quick logistical hiccup that I wanted to let you all know about
So if you parked in the 9th Avenue garage, so imagine you go straight down the hill on Seneca, and then it's the first light, the parking garage just on the left right there. It's right across from Buck Pavilion. They're only attended until 4 p.m. So don't worry, your car is not going to get locked inside the garage or anything. But if you prepaid before you came down here, totally fine. If you haven't prepaid, then they'll only accept credit card until 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., you have to pay with cash. It's a little strange, but there are ATMs within the 3 blocks. Is that what we decided? Okay. There's an ATM on Terry in Madison and on Madison and Minor. If you have questions about where you parked, I have the website up on my phone right now, and I'd be happy to help you figure out your parking situation. Okay. Also, we have a survey about this program, and we'd love to get your feedback so we can improve it in next year. I will leave the surveys out by food, and you are welcome to grab one and fill it out for us. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you in 15.
So at 3:30, I'll make an announcement that the breakout session will begin.